Against all historical precedent, even fucking Mongolia closes its borders to China, while the World Health Organization and the Blue House just keep playing politics. So I guess globalism is more important than citizens' well-being. Korea's media is lazier than a fat fuck parking in a handicap spot, since walking is too much work. Because all they know how to do, apparently, is just parrot what they're told instead of actually investigating anything. They simply said that the World Health Organization's international health regulations are the law, and that's that. The Blue House responded to a petition saying the WHO said no travel bans, and that's that. Well, why can't you make your own fucking decisions? Does Korea not have any epidemiologists? Is Korea a third world country that needs to do what is told by the international body that no one voted for? But travel bans are bad for business, says the WHO, not wanting to interfere in international affairs. Well, I guess enabling a potential pandemic would be good for business then. Quick January 29 update. The Korean Disease Center just released a statement warning against disinformation that people should not believe asymptomatic patients can infect others, simply because the WHO reference document says so. Meanwhile, I found in 2 seconds 2 epidemiologists from the US and Hong Kong who are concerned about asymptomatic spread. As if they were trying to prove me right, the Korean Disease Control Center just parrots more shit. If I ask them about a fucking runny nose, will they still say, oh, well, the WHO says? What the fuck? Let's look at the relevant clauses in the international health regulations. Article 2. The purpose and scope of these regulations are to prevent, protect against, control, and provide a public health response to the international spread of disease in ways that are commensurate with and restricted to public health risks and which avoid unnecessary interference with international traffic and trade. Well, that sounds sensible, but who gets to determine what becomes unnecessary interference? According to Article 18, Option 9, the very last option is refusing departure or entry, while Option 7, implementing isolation and quarantine, is only being done outside China when someone is eventually discovered to be a potential carrier, while Option 3, implementing inspections, which is completely useless in a virus with over a week incubation period, is the current procedure. Meanwhile, Article 43 specifically states, state parties are not inhibited from implementing health measures which achieve a greater level of health protection than WHO recommendations, but they also want evidence for said greater protections. Still, when Canada decided to ban visas to those from Ebola-affected countries, WHO had a hissy fit, saying they're impinging on their regulations, and they also said that there's nothing that anyone can do about it. So shut the fuck up. The Korean government also wants you to stop calling it Wuhan Pyongyang, because the WHO doesn't think it's nice if you name it after a place. I believe this too the WHO can do nothing about, so shut the fuck up, Moon Jae-in. The WHO says that simply banning travel encourages illegal entry from affected areas and gives countries a false sense of security. There's an easy way to address both of these. Since illegal entry is already a serious crime, in an aggravated situation such as preventing spread of potential pandemic, illegal entry can be considered a hostile action. And Korea already has the Army and Navy prepped for similar situations with North Korean spies or refugees. There's no reason a country would have a false sense of security while implementing a travel ban, since they still need to be aware of long incubation periods, so I think that's kind of nonsense. I also read that they think it makes it harder to track people. Seriously? This is the most surveilled state in the history of mankind. Stop pretending like governments aren't spying on people. Now, I can find tons of articles that say the travel bans are not proven to work as well. They say that temporary travel bans only delay the spread of infection, while all that was really proven is that thermal scanners aren't doing shit. Vox cites this study to prove that the travel bans don't work, merely proving that they don't really read anything they cite. Since in the conclusion of the study, they write, decline in air travel was of too small a magnitude to impact the spread of infection. Yes, the travel ban in this study only delayed the infection spread by 3 days. Because all that happened was a 40% decrease in air travel, which is not a ban. Here's a better argument for why travel bans aren't really effective. It is unlikely that any country will have the virtue to actually admit to the world that they have a potentially dangerous virus in time for other countries to make their own decisions about it. China even kept neighboring towns in the dark about the virus to maintain the illusion of their state harmony. Now, I know some of you probably know the mandate of heaven will end when there is a big disaster. So the communists would rather let millions of people die instead of informing their citizens. China was forced to reveal the problem only once the virus reached other nations. So it's a bit late for a pure travel ban, but that doesn't mean these 300 planes going to or coming from China right now is like some inevitable thing. The Korean Medical Association said, right now the ban is unnecessary, but the virus is spreading fast. Fast indeed. Over 6,000 people just returned to Korea from China. People who could not be showing symptoms while being inspected at the airport, but later developed them. Yet for some reason, this virus is spreading fast. If we look at confirmed cases in China, which I'm sure are far less than the reality, we got from 278 cases on January 20th to 4,500 on the 28th. We got half the number of cases in 8 days as SARS did in 9 months. And MERS only had a little over 1,000 cases internationally, yet schools were closed in Korea, if I remember correctly. Obviously, since Korea only has 4 confirmed cases, there is no real reason to panic necessarily, but now 6,000 people are coming in from a severely infected nation. But the Korean Disease Center announced new measures today. So now all the people just check no on the box saying, oh, I'm not sick, and they'll pass a meaningless temperature reading. Oh, great. This is great. I'm personally merely just cautious for now, but the people in charge better pray that their decisions aren't going to be devastating. I've been following the rumors also that the virus may have been a bioweapon accidentally leaked, but I've not come up with anything that can really convince me yet. I did see in WeChat forums that they're trying to make it sound like it was a US bioweapon, which kind of actually makes me think it was a Chinese bioweapon. Anyway, I saw that the logo of the research facility in Wuhan has the same logo as the Resident Evil's Umbrella Corporation. So you make of that what you will, I guess. Also, I have to say to Koreans especially, since this is one of the ways the Spanish flu spread, don't spit. It's fucking dirty.